interesting. I remember back in my early career, and it was probably about your age at the time, and I had taken my company public, and um, I lived 15 minutes from Pine Valley,
Mhm.
and I started getting invites to Pine Valley because guys wanted my
Yeah,
business,
absolutely.
and I'm like, wow, like so that was a really quick lesson that don't think golf can't pay major dividends.
There is no doubt about it. I've never had a better business tool, in life than golf. I mean, it teaches you so much. But,
Yeah,
being able to play golf and build relationships on the golf course, where else can you spend 4 hours with someone, where you can learn about their family, you can learn about their passions and their line of work, it's very different than sitting in a boardroom or just having lunch. So I think
exactly.
golf is, just an incredible, business vehicle, which has become extremely popular, over the past 40, 50 years.
Right. I mean, look, for me, it's always about who I'm playing. I mean, I'm a 26, so I don't really count in
Nothing
this
wrong with a
world.
26.
Uh, you're too kind.
There's nothing wrong with 26.
I love it, and I love going out with my friends, and I love the camaraderie.
You have fun, right? Fun, right? That's the idea of the game.
I have fun.
If you can have fun and you can build relationships and you have the camaraderie, that's all that matters.
Speaking of relationships, I want to touch on this one because you're so well known and you're so well respected. You've played a lot of golf with Donald Trump,
I have.
and I know I'm going to ask you this question, and you're probably not going to answer it. Does he cheat?
I've never seen him cheat.
That's good.
I've never seen him cheat.
Okay, viewers and listeners, Donald Trump does not cheat in golf, and
For
he can
79 years old, the way he hits the ball, it is extremely impressive. He is really a very good golfer, for his age or anyone's age for that matter. But at 79, it's extremely impressive to watch.
fun to play with.
Oh, it's a blast. It's an absolute blast.
Was it because the Secret Service is all over yet?
Yeah, 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 they're all great guys. No, it's a lot of fun. He's just a pleasure to be around for the time that we get a chance to spend, and I'm honored to have that opportunity.
Yeah,
Regardless of whoever the president is, I think just to spend time around someone who is part of that office is just a tremendous honor.
yeah, it certainly is. Hey, so you you're kind of scrambling around, you're kind of thinking about what you're doing, and you are one scrappy dude because you get on a plane and you go down to Texas because you hear about this kid playing for SMU. How do you meet Bryson DeChambeau?
Yeah, sure. So the story is interesting. I got into the sports management business in 2014, actually from a phone call from Andrew Whitlieb, who is the president of GSE Worldwide, Jim Furyk's agent for 30 years now, who I've had the relationship with, like we talked about before. And he said to me, he said, Brett, I'm looking to bring on a young agent and really have them build their own book of business on the firm's dime. We've got a lot of experienced agents. We need someone young who's ready to hustle. And I said, okay, I'm living down here in Florida right now after school. I really don't want to move back to the Northeast. Growing up in Philly, I had enough of the snow. Never wanted to go back to the Northeast. I said, I'm not coming to New York. He said, well, you don't have a choice, but let's just come up. This was a Tuesday. I'll never forget it. It was a Tuesday. I was at Panera Bread in Boca Raton in 2014 when he called me. And ultimately, I agreed to meet him later that week. It was on a Friday. I got on a plane, flew up to New York, met with Andrew, and ultimately walked away with a job to join the firm at the time was called the Legacy Agency, which is now GSE Worldwide. So I joined the firm, moved up to New York against my wishes at the time, but realized that I had an opportunity to get into the world of sports management that I always had a passion for. So I did it. 2 weeks into the job, they send me on my way and they say, go out and recruit. You know what talent looks like. Go out and recruit. I said, how? Who do I talk to? What do I do? They said, you'll figure it out. You know what talent is. So my first event I ever went to was the 2014 U.S. Amateur at Atlanta Athletic Club. It was the morning of the quarterfinals. And I walked onto the driving range just as the sun was coming up. It was about 6:45 in the morning. There was one player on the driving range. And as I got closer, I saw the placard behind the player, and it said DeChambeau. Never heard of DeChambeau. I was down there on a mission to go meet Ali Schneider-Jans and Denny McCarthy, some of the top-ranked players in the world in the amateur ranks. And those are the guys I was going to focus on because that's what I was told to go do. And that's, obviously you want to go for the best. Like you can right out of the box, you got to just shoot for the best. So I see this kid, DeChambeau. I start watching him swing. He's wearing this goofy hat. He's got a caddy with him who's got a pull cart, and I wasn't carrying the bag. I start watching him swing, and I'm like, wow, I've never seen anything like that. I mean, this one playing golf swing reminds me of Mo Norman. I'm a little bit of a golf. We've got a lot of whatnot. So
Savant.
savant, for lack of a better term. And I'm watching him swing, and I'm saying, wow, this looks really, really different. And I was just fascinated and mesmerized by it. And I kept watching him, and I said, you know what? I'm going to go watch this kid play today. Well, went out, watched him play. He played a kid from the University of Houston who never made it on tour. Ramon Robledo was his name, and he kicked Bryson's ass that day. Absolutely kicked his ass. But I watched and I saw something that I've never seen before in a young golfer, and that was just this unique charisma along with a very homemade golf swing. And I said, wow, if this kid, can figure it out, I'm going to stay on him. Like, I think there's something here. I looked him up. He was ranked 57th in the world amateur golf ranking and 37th in the college golf stat at the time. So I went back. I told the guys in the office, like, there's someone I want to follow. They said, what's he ranked? And I told them the rank. They said, you're crazy. Like, that's not how this works. You need to focus on the best. I said, guys, I'm telling you, there's something here.
Mm,
I didn't introduce myself to Bryson that day because he wasn't too happy with how he played. I didn't really want to say anything. But later that night, I went back to my computer at the hotel and I friended him on Facebook. And I wrote him a message on Facebook that I still have on my phone today. Introduced myself and told him I'm an agent with the Legacy Agency and watched him play today. Didn't want to bother him, but hopefully have the opportunity to meet him at some point in time and speak with him. Never got a response, but 2 weeks later was his first golf tournament of the season, the college golf tournament of the season at Erin Hills in Wisconsin, where they've hosted the US Open in the past. And I went out, I told my guys at the office in New York, I said, I'm going to go watch this kid. They said, you're crazy. You're not spending your time on the right people. I said, okay, say whatever you want. I said, I know what talent looks like. There's something very unique here.